Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we are going to be doing a coaching session here on Nuke. Lots of great things we can learn from this. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's go ahead and get into it.
I've been having a lot of trouble on my pistol rounds. That was another kind of question I had about,
Mhm.
and I've got a few wrote down.
Gotcha. Okay. So here, walk me through this. Like, what are we doing at the Molly and flashes? Like, what's the idea behind it?
Um, so the Molly, they wanted to go ramp. I was
Mhm.
gonna Molly top hunt if we went out
Gotcha.
A.
Okay.
I don't like the ramp play just because it never works out in my favor for me. I think I end up using the Molly for hell or whatever the like
Yeah.
across from trophy is.
Yeah.
Just to cut that off so we can kind of get down there,
I'll say
and then
if you want the pro level thing to do, that's fine.
mhm,
If you're buying util, you know a really cool thing they do is pros will do the same thing. Their teammates are rushing ramp. They come here and they actually buy a nade. I'm usually a huge not a fan of buying nades on pistol round, but for nuke specifically, they blow open door and you know what they do? They molly right here in front of vents. While their
okay.
team is rushing ramp, because what do the A players do when a ramp rush is going on? Oh, everyone get down to B, go
Yep.
down B.
Yep.
So that is a really frustrating thing that tees will do and a really good strat. The top hut molly is not bad because it might fake like a hit, so I do like that idea. I just want to give you maybe like the next like evolution of that play. It could be really sick.
Yeah, Nuke is probably I don't hardly ever buy nades on T side. I'll
Mhm.
do Molly, Smoke, and double flash. But Nuke is one of the maps that I will buy nade just to create kind of the
Yeah,
ghost pressure, nading the squeaky door and
yeah. You should try to every time, unless they're like on full eco, 100%. But yeah. Also, okay. So here you're trying to be too much of a team player with this idea of like buying nades and stuff. This is an
mhm,
example where like you're helping your boys out, but we need to remember our purpose first.
mhm,
We're running out here, we're taking contact, and it's like, oh, this guy honestly should die because so many people are here. Shoot
mhm.
first. Shoot first.
Gotcha.
He's dead, then we molly. Because also like what you're gonna start running into as well is like, I mean, this guy's just out in the open. I don't know what he's doing, but like people are gonna be like one pistol player here on ramp or one hiding, and then another guy hiding here. So we need you to first worry about shooting, and then once we're like, okay, we're good, then maybe molly off the rotates, right? So
Gotcha.
like that's like something it's gonna look differently every time, but it just sucks to die like this because we're like, dang bro,
Mhm,
like my purpose in this round was just to run with a molly out and throw it.
mhm.
So it's fine if the molly's delayed like 1 second 2 seconds for you to like be like, okay, we're good. That's completely fine.
This coaching session is brought to you by Skins Monkey. They are the best CS2 trading site out there. Swap out the skins you do not like and upgrade them into higher quality new items. I have personally used Skins Monkey to build my inventory and love how many features the site has. The best thing is that you can gain your own crazy deposit bonus of 35% by using my code KOJOMO. They also have a freebie section where you can get free new skins by completing tasks, and you also get a $5 bonus by clicking my link in the description of the video.
Gotcha.
So shoot first and then pull out that util. Shoot first. This round
We also don't
works.
really structure it, even though we're playing as a
Mhm.
four stack. We don't have most of the time set plans. I
Gotcha.
kind
Okay.
of have my own little thing I like to do. One of my buddies likes to sit lobby,
Mhm.
um, and wait for the push, and I normally play outside. But I'm the big guy on util. Like I'm throwing the smokes for everyone. Flashes are an issue I have. Unless I have a set lineup for flashes, I don't.
Okay.
I'll buy them, but I don't use
Yeah.
them. That's a question I have. I don't know when to use them.
Yeah. Okay. So because that is honestly it's funny that you say that because I literally just recorded a video for my main YouTube channel talking exactly about that. Um, that is what is going to separate you from being like eventually a good player to being a
Mm-hmm.
great player. Is like no video, no lineup, no util. It's like how are you using the util in the moment? And every single situation is going to look different. But the way I look at my util, right? Like the way I look at it is my util is my problem solver. Say I'm on T side, I'm in a 1v1, I plant the bomb here, I know the enemy's over here. I like that's the situation I'm in. What is the problem? The problem is I am contained to this right here, and I have a guy that is trying to like, eventually take a duel on me. My flash can be used against the wall to solve that problem because I can swing with it. I could fake him out and just stay here with the flash. I could go all the way to hut while he's turning and blind. Like you see what I mean? Like every time we're in a in quote problem, we're facing a problem. That utility is our solution, and that's a great way to look at flashes.
Yeah, that makes
Uh,
sense. I feel like I just catch a timing, which
mm,
timing is also a new kind of foreign thing to me on
mm,
CS. Every video I see that talks about timing, it's more of a skill. And
yeah.
every other game I played, timing is just, oh, you caught a timing,
Mm,
COD timing or
yeah.
whatever. Like, oh, couldn't do anything about it. But in CS, it seems like they talk about timing as like a skill and something to learn over time. which
Yeah,
is new to me.
it 100% is, because like, I mean, dude, it gets really complex, because this is something that even like, so top teams in I mean, even the best teams in the world have to deal with, because then the timings are a team issue. It's not even just like an individual issue where it's like, oh, I faced this guy and he caught a time. It's like, dude, how did we as a team give up that timing? And then you have to worry about your teammates and stuff. But for now, regardless, what I need you to think about it as is, one, like when we're playing, how are we not giving up timings? It's as simple as like, look, you're holding hut from up here. There's no timing to give up, because like he is going to push, and I'm here to take contact on that, right? What players start to do wrong is like, you know, they'll do things where like they pivot back and forth, and they're like, oh, that was unlucky. That was unlucky. He pushed you when I wasn't looking, but that's totally your fault. Like that's totally on us for giving that timing up. Is it unfortunate that like he caught that moment? Yes, but it is a skill, and it's more of a skill of like not giving up timings, I'd say. And then for you catching a timing, it just comes down to intuition. It's like, what do I think from all of my time playing this game is open right now? So you'll see this as a lurker. Lurkers have to do this a lot. Sometimes like it's a 3v3 situation, and you know, your teammate just died to a guy's secret, and then you heard like an opper shoot ramp early on the round. And so then you're like, oh wait, I think the last CT is on A site. And then you hear the last CT drop over here towards vent for some reason. Well, now I'm a lurker, and I'm like, oh shoot, I'm going to take my timing and walk out hut. So, and you might do this stuff without thinking about it. You might do this stuff with thinking, but this is the type of intuition where it's like, it's bigger than us just looking here and being like, oh, I hear this guy drop. Right? It's like, oh, I'm putting the pieces together of ramp player, secret guy just like was fighting my teammates. Oh wait, dude, this is a huge gap for me. And that's just like a simple, every single round, there's gonna be timings, there's gonna be different things you think about, you know, look for. A lot of it's gonna come with game sense, but if you can start to think of the game like puzzle pieces, and we're trying to put the puzzle together and like see what pieces are over here, what pieces are there, it really helps you like understand these ways to honestly enter flow state.
Okay. And almost like you like taking mental notes almost.
Yes.
Like throughout the round.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a YouTuber, and he would just entry on B. It was Renyan.
Yes, of course.
And on Inferno, he would just kill 2B and wouldn't even worry about a third 90% of the time, because he would count the util.
Yep.
And that kind of opened my eyes to that, counting the util.
Yep. And that's the thing too. Every game's different. If you start to recognize those patterns in your opponents, it makes it so easy. So what you need to be doing, honestly, like this is such a good skill you can develop, especially if you ever are solo queuing and stuff, is be self-sufficient and start collecting that data. Collect that data early on in the half. The first 3, 4, 5 rounds, you're just sitting there and going, okay, what is the ramp player doing? What are these A players doing? Oh, they're throwing this molly every round, this nade every round. Oh, this guy's not even looking at this right now, right? So the early rounds, we're trying to like kind of like limit test and see what our opponents are giving us. Now, obviously, when you start to get like super high level, it becomes really hard, because then players start like being really dynamic, changing things up, purposely making you think that there's gaps, there's all this stuff. But where you find yourself now, if you can just read that part of the game and collect that data, you can easily shoot yourself up to level 10 based on just being a smart player like that.
Okay.
Even if your aim isn't the best, if you're like, you know, whatever, like your spray is bad, whatever, if you can catch good timings and put yourself in favorable situations, dude, you could be like half blind and you would succeed. Okay, so what are we? Yeah, go ahead.
So I threw the smoke on top of Mini, and
Okay,
I recently seen, I think, it was supposed to waterfall down. I just learned that one yesterday.
Gotcha.
So I'm kind of trying to perfect it.
No worries.
And take top hut. But after that, I don't really, like I said, we don't have plans per se. We kind of just, everyone does their own thing, and then if it works out, then it works out. We had a game, I think just before this one, that it was a little different. We were down like 8 rounds, and I started calling plays because we were realizing that they would just util dump everything within the first 45 seconds, and so we played slow. We ended up winning. Yeah. But that's like the one example that we kind of started collectively working together. Gotcha.
Well, this is where you can take over the game, and like something as simple as, you know, you need to ask your team and stuff, but like my advice to you is like, one, even if this waterfall smoke hits, this is not necessarily good, because you guys are smoking on mini, shirt, and garage, but you're just leaving open all these sight lanes, like here, credit, all these areas. If you want like a really good nuke strat, it's throwing the diag smokes. I don't know if you know that lineup or seen it. If not, I can show you.
I think I do know.
Yeah, sweet. Throw those, because then it blocks off all this vision here, and it actually allows you guys to scale. And you just ask your teammate, yo, drop me the smoke, and you know, hopefully you know the lineup for 2. If not, I can show you.
Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, cool, everyone's still doing their own thing, but I just threw util that gives them that opportunity. Now, because like that's the thing, and I think for you, for what you told me with like you're throwing util and the stuff early round, you can really help your teammates dictate that. And again, yes, it'll help you be a caller, help you like take control of the game if you need to. And it makes, I mean, I'm sure maybe some of them don't like to think as much and they just like to play. It allows them to just run around with really good util that you threw for them. So definitely.
Yeah.
I'd say Diag, honestly, as far as like strategic stuff here, Diag would go so much harder than necessarily like we're doing garage smoke and top, mini drip smoke.
Yeah, if I do throw the diagonals, then everyone wants to go down secret, and that's
Yeah.
not my favorite play.
Okay.
I'd rather take heaven.
Yeah.
I just on Nuke, I
Yeah.
hate fighting for B and the kind of claustrophobic areas on really any map. I'd like to take like the open space and the
Gotcha,
duels
okay.
outside, take heaven.
Gotcha,
'Cause
yeah.
I feel like at most the like ranks we've been playing in, obviously it's getting a little higher up now. Most of us are reaching level 5, 6. But most people that we've experienced don't go like ramp into heaven and take A. If they go ramp, they go straight to B.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
true.
by that time they expect those rotates. So if we go ramp into heaven, they've over rotated, and then we have B or A pretty much for free.
Yeah, I'd say in that case, definitely mini drip smoke to cut off this crossfire. If you want to get super next level in tech, throwing a locker smoke could be useful to block off like any opper down here and force them out in the open. And then you just need to, like, this is a situation where if that's the case, one, it's crazy that you're throwing all the util kind of, and then you're still up here entering, which is insane. But we need to utilize flashes then. So that's where like we need to throw flashes over yard here. Maybe over garage, just in case someone's opping up here, which you'll see a lot. There's a lot of oppers at your level that will just sit up here the whole round and do nothing. Also, obviously, garage is a threat, so I'd say maybe we throw a cross smoke. This isn't bad for early round. Obviously, like garage smoke it can be very good, very good. So yeah, you have a lot of options with that. I say we need to use more flashes though, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's just that was in my notes. I don't know when to use a mid round. Like I said, unless I have a lineup, like I flash out whenever we play ancient, my teammates get a lot of kills because I'm flashing over mid when they go elbow and just setting them up for success, which I'm fine with. But the mid round flashes, I just don't know when to use them and not catch a timing kind of thing.
So let me ask you, why are those flashes so good? Those ancient ones, why are they so effective for your teammates?
I think I'm pretty good at reading when they're gonna exit elbow, and so I'm throwing them right as they're going out and they're over their head, so they can't. My team can't get flashed, and it flashes everyone pushing up mid.
Yes, so same exact way of thinking about it. This is where you have to go off the rails, and it's just like, okay, this isn't set. This is just me doing it. Now on Nuke, this is a little harder because you are gonna have to throw flashes in front because it is so big. But like, you know, okay, say we're worried about guys fighting out here, and my teammates are scaling mini wall. I don't need to ask my teammates anything. I don't need to ask, hey, do you want me to flash? Do you want to do this? I'll just come out here and throw a flash behind them because I see their body language of them about to peek here, right? This is something you're going to have to battle and like develop. But any flash where you're throwing high and behind your teammates, wherever they are, it's so good, man. Like on CT side, I mean, I guess it's more of a set flash, but I'll also just throw it for my teammates too. Is my teammate will want to aggress out here on CT side as a rifler. I'm an opper. I just flash behind him. I throw a flash back here to blind those guys. So if you think about flashes like that, those are the type of flashes that are the easiest to start developing because you don't need to ask anybody anything. You can't really go wrong with them. You might throw a flash that doesn't really blind people, but like it's not like your teammates are eating it, right? When they're like, bro, you're screwing me over.
I've definitely done that a few times.
Yeah.
Flash my team.
Yeah, and it sucks because some people get so angry at that. To me, I rather have people throwing flashes and, you know, it's just like, oh man, I didn't need that, or like you completely blinded me. For me, I'm happy they're at least throwing them. Obviously not everyone's gonna have that mindset and they're gonna get pissed when they get full whited and, you know, they almost had a kill or something. But yeah, I'd say like don't be scared off of limit testing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or like if you are going to flash in front, like I said, like you have to throw these flashes in yard. Just be very clear. I am flashing yard. I'm flashing in front of you guys. Turn, right? Like you say these things, and if they still get blinded by it, it is completely their fault. Like it really is, like honestly. And again, that just comes down to, you know, maybe they're not capable of playing that next level that you're trying to get to, right? Which maybe they are, maybe they're not, but that's just the question you got to ask yourself when these things happen. Okay, good. We hit it that time. Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a specific, if I'm supposed to aim on the railing for that smoke, or um if it's just next to the railing. I was watching like a donk face it game, and I watch a lot of YouTube on players that
Mm.
are better than me, and I just watched your new video that you put out like an hour ago before we had
Oh
this
heck
meeting.
yeah, let's go.
Um,
Plug.
and so like I watch a lot of YouTube just trying to pick up what they do. I was watching Navi versus Saw,
Yep.
I think today, a little bit ago. But I seen that Donk do that smoke in his face it game, and so I kind of just tried to eyeball it from that
Gotcha.
video.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah.
I do have two set lineups for the
Gotcha.
diagonal ones, I think you call them.
Yes, yep. The diag smokes are so good. But yeah, I mean that one hit. So do you ever get into a server, or do you just throw them once you get into a game?
Most of the ones that I have set that I'm good with, I don't practice too much. Yesterday I was practicing. I just learned all the Mirage Insta smokes.
Okay, awesome.
Yesterday, so I'm working out the ones that I don't know and that I think I should know.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that's awesome. That's some good stuff.
But like I said, Nuke's not as strong of a map for me,
Right.
so
And it's not as played either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just utils, if I don't have like if we're not going outside, if we're doing like going into A, I just learned like a flash that pops behind the silos.
Oh yeah.
And a molly for back silos.
Sweet. Great
but
util.
I just don't know much util for A.
Right.
Like I don't know if there is much more I can do.
I mean, to be honest with you, you know the top hut molly, like you said, like you sometimes throw it. Yeah, like top hut molly, that set of util I throw, that's so good. Honestly, like I mean, for a mini smoke is good too, but you can kind of eyeball that most of the time. If door smoked, you could learn a lineup, but like there's not like a crazy amount of util to throw for A. So I think by far like that is good now. Like that is a great standard. Maybe once you get on a team and you guys are doing like very intricate execs, yes, maybe then we'll learn like this specific thing that like my team right now wants to use. I'd say strategically though, for you, if you want to improve like just from this round, and I'm sure you do this sometimes, like bro, condition that top hut molly. If none of these guys are doing it, condition that top hut molly just to make it so much harder for them to have a good early round, and to show them like, look, I can't sit top hut. So the only note I've seen like so far on these first gun rounds is like, yeah, like if nobody else is throwing it and you're already going here, you know, commit to helping your team in that way with that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is a little
right
unfortunate.
there, I kind of just went.
Yeah.
I think I just went without clearing it, or maybe it wasn't calm if my opper seen that they were back there.
Yeah, gotcha.
I just kind of went.
Yeah.
I also get almost, I don't know the right word for it, but I kind of just get antsy per se. Like I'll just want to go if we're kind of claustrophobic stacked up. I want to just get in there, especially in like inside, like maybe secret or inside lobby. I just want to take the space, which I've realized a lot of the time we're dead or the round's over.
Oh yeah,
really,
for sure.
like with a lot of time left. So I'm kind of trying to work back and slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I totally agree, because like we're 5 rounds in and literally every single round we just held W essentially. Ramp, we held W. Outside, we've been holding. Like it is so fast, and so when you're better than the other team, that tempo, that speed is going to just completely run them over. When you're playing a team that kind of is a little more experienced or maybe better than you, better aim, that tempo is like the death of you guys. You have to be able to be flexible, fast here, then slow here, right? And I'm sure you guys do it. Like it's probably not always just like hold W and this kind of stuff. But yeah, having that on and off switch is so important, especially for you as an individual. Like you got to read, like, you know, you got to read, and maybe that's why sometimes you struggle with timings, because we want to go so fast. Like you said, we're antsy, right? And to find some of those timings, we have to be very like, you know, we have to be very methodical sometimes, right? Here we go. We're throwing util support.
I don't think they went off of it.
Yeah, it's fine though.
Maybe.
If they're not going off though, that obviously like you're doing your part, right?
I think I was trying to figure out just a smoke for that, but I don't think there's much I can do from coming out of hut.
Yeah. So yeah.
Smoke off heaven.
No, I mean, and you can. There is like a lineup. But what I need you to do first, because like this almost goes back to the pistol round too.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that you're thinking about it. Like it's honestly like I mean, no problem is good, but this is like a very selfless problem. Like you want to throw util, you want to, but like I need you first to like clear these angles. Even if we got like 1 kill on A, I think we only got 1. Yeah, like only 1 kill. There's gonna be more guys, right? So come out here, do your job first with your gun, and same thing as pistol round. Then once we're like actually pathing in and clearing, we do it. Because like right now, yeah, this guy was mini, but we killed this guy. There could be another guy here. A really good spot
Yeah.
you should play on CT side is there could be a guy sitting here, which is so good, like so overpowered. And you see, like, we see how vulnerable we are. This way hut also kind of sucks.
I hate going out hut.
Yeah.
Normally, if we go out, I'm squeaky. But like I said, I play outside a lot more.
Gotcha. Yeah, exactly. So hut can be really rough, man.
Yeah, I think I wanted to smoke that because my teammate was coming to
Right.
plant,
Okay.
which is kind of funny that he made it all the way over there.
Yeah.
To what's that CT vent? I think,
Right here.
or I don't know what that.
This one, or this one.
Yeah, that one. I don't know what
We
that
call this
comp
Asian.
is.
There's a
Okay.
player that we call it Asian pet.
Okay, yeah. So I think he made it almost all the way to there, and the guy in
Yeah.
Mini didn't show himself.
Right.
But that was kind
Yeah.
of unfortunate. But again, like you said, I had util in hand, should have cleared all my angles, and then
Yeah.
go for the plan.
Just remember,
smoke.
you have power, and like while you're trying to like do good for your team, you're giving up all that power when we're coming out here to like smoke heaven or smoke like first we need to actually establish that control. Once that control is established, because like think about it, when you're throwing util, it is a risk for that second and a half. You have no gun in your hand. So
Yep.
while that when that util's up, you are dominating. Like they have to go through a smoke, a molly, whatever it is. But the risk is in that second and a half while you're throwing it, you are vulnerable. So one practice, and why you're so good at set util is like you're throwing at a spawn. There's no risk, right? You're just throwing it. But in the mid round, you have to be so precise with how we're throwing it. So it's like if I'm flashing over here and like maybe someone's gonna peek in garage and stuff, I'm not running up here and throwing it. I'm literally like behind this box and throwing it so that there's no risk to me. I'm trying to limit my risk and be as close to an angle or behind a wall, whatever it needs to be.
Gotcha.
And again, these are all things you're gonna have to practice. It's gonna be hard at first. It's gonna be hard, but then eventually you're gonna get natural at it. And the biggest thing I want you to understand is it's completely okay to make mistakes. You're never gonna be perfect. It's just when you die and you sit there and you're like, oh, dude, that was dumb. Why was I like mauling ramp, right? Like, why did I do that? If you can identify that, that is where you're gonna grow because you're gonna make less and less of those mistakes. You're gonna make new mistakes. And then we keep learning. It's a great process, man. The reality is though, like obviously you're not always gonna know if you're making mistakes. You're not gonna know if that was good or bad. And that's again where being on a team and being in that is so helpful because you have people giving you direct insight, advice, critique, that kind of thing. It's awesome. It's a like collaborative effort to be the best players possible. So this is this right here was a big common mistake. Don't even feel bad about this. This is literally what so many players are making a mistake for this. Think about it. We should kind of have an idea where this guy is right here, but look what we're doing. We're still looking at the door, right? And then watch how you're about to bust through here. Boom, you're busting through, and look at us. We're still looking here.
Anything else? Yeah.
This is a wall, right? And the second you open this, he knows where you are. And look at him. He's like, I don't know where this guy is. Oh shoot. I mean, he was honestly pretty slow too, and then made a good adjustment.
Yeah, I was kind of confused. My teammate that went out ramp, he was given the comm by the guy that planted on your right. And I just heard on your right, and so I was more worried about maybe dark or the tuck right there.
Okay, well this is also where you have to develop intuition as a player, even in the face of like, maybe bad calls, bad whatever. There's a few things you need to look for in these situations. One, audio. I understand like if people are talking and it's loud or like you don't know, but one like that we should kind of know where that guy was either off the audio but also the radar, right? So we're glancing at the radar and we should see where that dot is. We should see where that dot is and be like, okay, this guy's somewhere in this area. But look, when this happens, let me see from Hayden's if. Oh yeah, that's on the radar. At that point, this is on the radar again. So we should hear the sound when we're here of left side, right? And if not, maybe then we need to tweak audio, do that kind of thing. But most importantly, radar, man. Like we got to be able to see the radar, and this is where you got to take a second to breathe. It's like, oh shoot, what is going on? My teammates are throwing. Oh, let me glance at the radar. Okay, he's here. You got to open this door, and then take that second, maybe even milliseconds, but like take that moment to open that door and then swing. Don't bust through it. Like, have you seen like the Kool-Aid Man commercials way back?
Yeah.
Like that's what you were. You were literally the Kool-Aid Man here. You're like, yeah, like.
And it's even worse because we have bombed down
right,
times on our side. I have 2 flashes that I can buy time with.
Yes.
I mean, obviously hindsight's 2020, but I think another thing goes back to like the selflessness that you were kind of talking about with util.
Yeah.
Is I'm always trying to be there to trade my teammates, and as soon as I knew that my buddy was down ramp, I wanted to swing out and he'd already died, and then I'm swinging out basically blind. A bunch of mistakes in there, but I think it kind of boiled down to me wanting to trade and then also being almost blind to everything that was given to me.
Yeah, and that makes sense too. And so I just had a conversation with another player, the same exact problem. You need to be selfish sometimes because it's actually better for the team. If your teammates are like, taking this risk and just swinging and doing this, there is a very fine window of opportunity for us to trade there and do that. If we miss out on the opportunity, like, so we're sitting here, we're about to peak and our teammate dies right now, it sucks, but it's too late now. It is too late for us to directly trade him. Now we just need to play 1v1, and now your decision is purely for you, because then it's going to be better for the team. Now, if you're here, like if you're literally on the store and your teammate's fighting and die, yeah, bro, bust it open and swing. So this is going to be something you have to like think about in the moment and then objectively afterwards analyze and be like, look, did I miss that window? Did I do too much? And again, just grow from that. Be like, okay, yeah. So in the future, now I know, like, bro, like be a little more selfish because that's actually better for the team.
Yeah,
and not to mention, of course, like you said, like the bombs down and all that, like many reasons, of course.
I think a pet peeve of mine is not getting traded.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the time, obviously, like I said, my buddies aren't taking it as serious as I am, which is fine. They want to play for fun. That's on them. But like if I die, they'll just stop in their tracks and be like, "Oh wow, my teammate just died in front of me," and I'm getting a little annoyed.
Right.
Like why didn't you even attempt to trade? And so I guess that kind of stems like if I'm getting upset about that, I don't want to be the guy that's doing to other people.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, and the problem is too, like I'm going to be completely honest with you. A lot of it, the hard thing is it's a spacing issue as well. Like even from what I'm seeing for you guys here, overall, like if I was coaching you guys as a team, I'd be like, and it makes sense from what you're saying because everyone's doing their own thing. The spacing is like really bad. This person's doing this, and then this person's back here, like 2 seconds later being here, and like so. It would make sense, that logic 100%. Like if we were like on each other and like, bro, like why aren't you swinging? Like I swung out here and you were right next to me. Like what are you doing? So 100% that makes sense. And unfortunately, like when we're playing so disconnected, it's going to be hard. Specific advice for you here. This is a tweak that you got to do to be just a tiny bit better on this outside fight that you're so good at already. Look, when we're flashing here, we're not flashing behind this. We're flashing on this specifically. We're throwing it off of this wall so it lands right here. This is the best flash you can throw for outside.
I've tried to do that one, and I tried to almost find a lineup, come up with my own, and I threw it middle of the game, and it bounced back and flashed half my team.
Yeah.
So I was a little hesitant to kind of throw that.
Yeah, I mean, just get in the server, throw it over and over and over, get into the game, and in those stressful situations, throw it. You're gonna mess it up, but that is what you got to do. Good aim, nice.
Gotcha. Yeah, spray is another thing. I think I commit to spraying too frequently, and then once I'm halfway through the mag, I've already sprayed half a mag. I might as well continue, and then I hit someone for 78 with an AK, and then I die. And
gotcha. Okay.
But I don't know the proper way to recoil train because everyone, when I ask, they're like, "Oh, just download this workshop map and hop into it." But I don't know if they mean I should just be sitting in there for however long a day before I start playing and just practicing, or if there's a specific thing I can do to better that.
I mean, to be honest with you, it is just such a difficult thing to master. It really is. Like even when I was competing in some of the international tournaments I was playing in last year, I was sitting there every single day for 5 minutes recoil training, even though I know the patterns, but obviously you can always be better. I think it just, there's no wrong amount of time, I guess. I'd say for you, if you hop into like Recoil Master, sit there for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, even if it's boring, just throw some music on and go through I'm sure you've watched videos, you watch a lot of videos, but like go through and like just work on the first 10 bullets, then the first 15, then the first 20, like get yourself down. It can be excruciating, honestly, because what are you practicing? You're literally just practicing like a moving your mouse down like over and over and over again, right? It's boring. It's not fun. It's so hard to teach though, because eventually what's going to happen, and maybe it already is, like when you're in these moments, you're not thinking about it half the time. Your hand is just going to move, and it's going to make generally the right movements. So then once you start to get really good at that, you start understanding like, oh shoot, bro, I've conditioned myself to not do this right, and then you make that small correction. So dude, it's hard, and everyone's going to tell you something different. For me, like genuinely just going into Recoil Master and doing that for so many hundreds of hours over my 16,000 hours in this game was what helped me. I'm still not the greatest at spraying. Obviously, I'm an opper, so I don't need to be the best. But yeah, I throw the target on. I'm sure you've seen videos. Like, honestly, any of the videos like can be helpful, can be good. Just have faith and confidence with what you're doing, and just believe in your own process with that. And you're not going to get worse at spraying. I can promise you that, right?
Gotcha.
And just remember, like, the small steps. You're not going to be spraying like a tier 1 pro. You're not going to be like rifling like whoever, like Nico, even though I guess he's more known for one taps at this point, but you're not going to be spraying like donk and that kind of stuff, bro. That's big picture. But like, if you can like marginally just get a little better and a little better and a little better, like that's the progress you need, man. Yeah. And let's see, sorry, I really like to see clutching.
There's a lot to talk about. I keep bringing up more and more stuff, so
I love it. No, I love it.
VOD,
bro, this is exactly the stuff that's gonna help you. Bring up as much things, like, bro, it does not matter, because you're gonna learn so much from every question you ask. Now here, you find this guy.
Pathing thing.
Yeah, we have no clue where this other guy is. We have 40 seconds, so we're feeling a little pressure. The only thing that we're doing here, though, is we are telling this guy exactly where we're going. So as you can see, he usually run away. He knows, like, oh, shoot. And a good player is going to be like, oh, bomb must be down. Like, a good player is going to assume that with how you're running out here to get bomb. It's a difficult thing, and I'm not saying you don't need to run. You don't need to do this. Just understand that when you do this, they're going to know where you are most likely, right? Whether he's here, whether he was in lobby, we're giving that information away. So your next decisions need to be based on that. You need to just assume he's going to know where you are, right? So look. Off that, what decision does he make?
I even had plenty of time too.
Right. Yeah. Right. So then you start walking, which is whatever. He's still certain. Like, he knows you're here, right?
He still knows exactly where I was. I already gave him that information.
And this is a really important thing in demos, is to learn from the decision making of our opponents on what they're doing. Do you see here? He starts to get antsy. Like, he starts to be like, oh wait, maybe I was wrong. We can see now one option. This is a play that will actually give you a lot of success in this. In the future, man, maybe grab the bomb. Go up the ladder, and I'm going to show you how to go up ladders fast, quietly. If you don't know, maybe you do.
I do.
Okay,
I just,
sweet.
Sometimes I'll screw it up. I don't practice it enough.
Gotcha.
So I'll make it sound. Again, with the like silent quick peeking, I did a few when I was going in the lobby. But I struggle with doing the silent quick peeking in the middle of clearing multiple angles. If I'm just doing like one single one. But if I'm in the middle of, say, entering, playing for contact,
right.
A lot of the time, I don't know if I just haven't practiced it enough, but I'll catch a step even though, like, I'll be holding shift plenty of time, and then I'll let go of shift and do the quick peek, and I'll still make a step. So I don't know why that is.
It's just practice, man. It's just like getting, like, perfecting it, like perfecting the amount of time you need to do it. But yeah, that's fine. Like, if you mess it up, bro, you mess it up. Like, we learned. So it's things like that, the fast ladder, just do it as much as you can, and inherently you're going to understand it much better over time, doing it over and over and over. Anyways, we can see here, what does he do? He makes the read, and this is what a lot of players are going to do. They're going to come here. If you want to outplay the other team, and this situation is honestly going to happen to you quite a bit on Nuke, you could go up the ladder quietly, come out here, and then make the risk of, like, first clear this, and then drop down and find a gap through high or through here. Now, sometimes a really good player might just put themselves back here in door, and they're going to kill you, right? They're going to catch you off. But these are ideas that we can think of and creative ways to play it. Regardless of what map you're playing, what you're doing, when you're in this situation, you're going back to get bomb, I want you to be thinking in your head, like, 2 steps ahead of what you're doing. So a normal player is going to be coming back here and saying, I need bomb. I need bomb. Where's bomb? I need bomb. They get bomb. Okay, now what do I do? I guess I'll go through here and do this. What I need you to start doing, and maybe you've done this before, this is where you clutch and you just enter flow state, is we already know what we're doing. I'm getting bomb and I'm going to go ramp. Or I'm going to get bomb and I'm doing this. So we already know, and then maybe even further. Okay, when I get bomb and do this, if I don't take contact and he doesn't see me, I'm going to plant like this and play here and move. Like, it starts to become this, again, puzzle that we just put together, and we can flow so much better. And just, here's the thing. You're never going to be right all the time. So you might make the wrong plan. You might make a plan and it's just completely wrong. But that, to me, is better than not knowing what you're doing and just floating around and doing your thing, right? You make the plan to go ramp, and that was the worst play you could have made because he was waiting there. Well, add that to the memory bank and use that to improve your game sense in the future.
Heroes, I didn't clear it. It's obviously there's a good chance someone's going to be up there. We've only got one pick, and either he could have been hell or heaven like he was, and I kind of just face stuffed it.
Yeah, you know what you need to do here in these type of fights too? You did good moving, and I always tell people at Mac 10, I love this. You're moving around, you're doing your thing, but you're missing out on one important thing with the Mac 10. bro, get up in their face. So this is fool.
Gotcha.
You take contact here, you jump, but like your next steps should be going like back and forth or jumping, but like get close and close because you're gonna do more damage to them. You're gonna get up in their face, be aggressive. The only downside is, yes, it's true. Your player model is going to be larger for them, but that pressure you're asserting to them is so difficult. The problem with this is from his fight right here on you. Where's he at? Sorry, I'm just like scrolling through. From his fight, when you start to like stay on the same parallel, when we're starting to kind of jiggle back here and here, he knows like the size of your player model, where you're gonna be, and it becomes really easy to predict. So my only advice, just be relentless with the Mac 10. Get up in their face, like literally try to get on top of them.
People do that, so
Yep.
I don't know why I wouldn't think of doing that myself.
Yep, 100%. And then
I know it was kind of, I don't know how you feel about me going outside with a Mac 10. While I was walking out there, I was like, this is kind of an odd play to go outside taking long angles with a Mac 10. But
it's not the most optimal. If you had outside smokes and you're getting down secret, it can be fine. Or if you're like dropping mini and trying to like take this fight, it can be good. It definitely is not optimal. And I'm not gonna rewind.
That he had a deagle.
We're more lucky, yeah, definitely. But we're more lucky too that like nobody was like fighting us on this angle. We didn't have diag smokes, right? We just had this smoke. I think
just the waterfall, and then just ran up in there.
Yeah, we're honestly just kind of lucky there's no M4 out here because like what you're dead. Like you can't even fight that with a Mac 10 from all the way back here. Like unless you like get some crazy like triple headshot, it's just like it's kind of chalked, honestly. So I mean it can work, but definitely not the most optimal place on Nuke. There's so many better places you could be. Yeah, we accidentally because the door, we didn't blow it up, like our teammate opened it.
I wanted to blow it up, and then I realized he was just going out the door with an XM10, so I didn't, and then I just was hoping I could thread the needle with the smoke for him.
Okay, here's a concept, and this is like the nitpickiest thing ever, but this is the type of stuff again that's just gonna make you a better player. Look, we're in a smoke and a nade comes at us. We get caught with our pants down here because like, look, you recognize the threat. What was the threat? Oh shoot, if someone's top hut, we're dead. But here's the thing that you need to do to be a great player. It's like that nade, my cover just got blown open for a second. You need to make some sort of movement, and you might still die. You might still be dead, but don't just sit here and go like, wait, now. So like,
by that point I'm dead.
Yeah, don't be like jumpy, don't be like super like panicked and stuff, but like understand like, oh shoot, I need to do at least a little bit of movement here in case somebody was fighting me. 100%. Yeah, and then we kind of get caught.
Yeah, I don't know really why I checked heaven, because I mean I had a teammate out there, so I guess it would have been halfway safe to assume that it was, heaven was semi-safe and mini was the real issue, because I think 2 of my teammates had already died from mini.
Yeah, this just comes down to making up your mind with your entry. In a good entry, the thing is they don't clear everything. They just get really good at clearing what they want to clear. So in this situation, like you're pretty set, like this guy here, like you're like, oh shoot, this molly banked in. So honestly, like my advice is like, I don't need you just to throw your life away and die like that. But it's like, if you want to take this fight and you want to do this, be so, again, relentless with it. Because then when we start to panic and we're like, we don't really panic. We're like, oh, wait, what the heck? And then you're like, no, wait, he actually is here. Right. Yeah. And then it's just so messy then. And again, it's not a comfortable fight for you. That fight is so uncomfortable versus
again, I'm taking more range with an 10.
That's true. Yeah, 100%. But like, honestly, this was not comfortable for him at the beginning. Like he's honestly like kind of stuck in the corner, like kind of cornered. But then because of like all the extra like things we're doing, it's hard. And I don't blame you too, because the molly made it hard as well. The molly made it so it wasn't very comfy.
Yeah, I think the molly came in and I was like, well, this is now or never kind of thing. I need to get in there.
Yeah.
My teammates were already out hut, so.
Gotcha.
So I know this is kind of a maybe a higher level thing per se, but having bomb on me and peeking. I mean, they were both tucked and I have bomb, so if they spot me, they spot bomb on the map. And
yeah. It can definitely be bad. I'll say like it can be bad. You could also, I guess, in a way though, use that to your advantage. This is next level thinking where it's like sometimes, bro, I purposely get spotted with bomb, but not in this case. Like, say I was like the only guy ramp and I don't think there's an opper. I might purposely real quick jiggle with bomb. It is risky, but just so on the radar they see bomb and everyone's like, oh dude, bomb's towards ramp. They're trying to go ramp, and then my teammates are like about ready to sneak outside or like do something, right? Um,
playing chess, make them
yes,
like false
exactly,
information kind of thing.
exactly, man. So it is bad, but honestly, like, and this type of round, it's not the end of the world, to be honest. But you're right that we could optimize that 100%.
Yeah, I want to use the Deagle because
Mhm.
it's goated, you know. But I don't know if it's a ping thing. When we played Premiere last night. I was doing really good with the Deagle. I
Yeah.
used it the whole game and I got like 20 kills, which is rare for me. And I don't know if it's a ping issue because whenever I play Face It, I'm on 60 minimum. Most of the time, I'm 60 to 80. And on Premiere, I had 20 ping and it felt good.
Have you heard of
So I don't know if
exit lag? Because a lot of players have problems with Face It, and if you're able to commit to it, I think maybe getting exit lag would be helpful for you.
I've never heard of that.
I'll link it to you. You can look and see if it's something that you would want to use. I know, like, I've had to use it in the past when I lived in locations that sucked for routing and things. Because like, is it just like you said it's a Face It problem where it's like on Face It you have 60 ping?
Yeah, because there's no servers near me. The
Oh,
closest server is
okay,
Seattle and
okay,
Portland.
yeah,
And
okay,
so
I got you. Yeah,
um,
that makes sense.
I play
Okay,
Chicago servers on
yeah,
Faceit, which is where all my buddies are near.
okay,
And so
yeah, yeah. That unfortunately, yeah, there's nothing you can really do, I guess.
mhm.
No, okay, so yeah, you just got to use your ping to your advantage, and don't get extra lag. It's just obviously a geographic thing. I forgot about that. Um,
Okay.
I mean, you can use the deagle, but you got to do a lot more like pre-firing. Like, you use your ping as a way to pre-fire, so your deagle can still be nasty. Everything can still be good. You're obviously going to find more success with Mac 10, being a really aggressive rifler, peeking into people. So just use that to your advantage, because that ping, while it does suck, it actually could help you. But when
Gotcha.
you're holding angles, you're gonna feel the effects of it. Honestly, like, no way around it. So for you, you're gonna have to you're gonna find most success when you are the one peeking.
Mhm. Another thing, I've been trying to train this almost. I have refrag, and so
Mm-hmm.
most mornings before I start playing, I think I seen your video on it about.
Mm-hmm.
I commented on it and you responded. How to use refrag like effectively and kind of you're
Nice
just doing
shot.
a little showcase.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I've been trying to retrain my aim a little lower, more like throat level, like bottom, like chin level, because every other game I played, it's basically aiming for the forehead, and I found a little bit more success with the deagle when I aim like at the chin, and I guess probably most other guns.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is good. To be honest, like, you get to a point where you don't even think about that stuff. You just know where your crosshair should be. I think that is good. That is good, especially for adjusting, because if you miss, you have maybe the throat to hit the lower chest or the upper chest and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think that's good. I mean, people do things completely different. The pro Zontix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, he's notoriously known for like aiming super low. Like, literally, he's like one of the only pros that aim at the chest instead of head for whatever
Really?
reason. Yeah,
Okay.
and he's like
Just like
notorious for
letting
that.
the recoil do the work.
Yeah, he's
Kinda
known as like
almost
a
like ideology.
yeah, like he's known as the body shooter. So like, I wouldn't recommend it, but like, for him, that's just how he's always played, and I guess he's gotten to where he is with that. Major winner now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, so he's much more accurate because he has a bigger target to hit. The only downside to that, obviously, is like, if you're facing someone that hits a crazy shot, you have to hit them like 4 times or let the recoil do it, and they could just one tap you. So, I think it's great. Like, aim for the chin, perfect, make it work. This though, look, you're unnecessarily putting yourself in just like such an open, vulnerable position. There's barely any difference from playing out here like this to even just like playing back here. Yes, the mini angle is different, so sure, maybe we play out here, maybe whatever you're doing. At the end of the day, just put yourself where you can fall back to cover in a second, like in a split second.
Okay.
And if you want to commit with your teammates, maybe come out here and fight credit or do your thing, but don't expose yourself so much, because, like, yes, you have the USP, you have the range, but it makes
not against P250 right there.
Yeah, that is true. But it just makes it like, as soon as multiple targets go on your screen, bro, you are honestly like almost like quite literally a sitting duck. It's really hard.
Especially against Glocks, I'm just gonna get hit and then spam down.
Yeah, and then here's the thing too, bro. When you recognize there's multiple targets fighting you like that too, especially at the ESP, don't commit to a crouch. That is not the moment. When there's multiple people fighting you like that, that's the moment where like you need to actually shift away back into cover, because this fight's starting to get like a little out of control. Your team, the silver lining is though, your teammates are here, so honestly, it's not the worst thing that you're committing to it, because your boys are fighting with you. But be active, and sit here, and when multiple people start peeking you, help manage your fights a little better and give yourself that way out if you need to, or in the least make yourself a harder target to hit.
Yeah, I think I've kind of boiled it down, possibly my movement, but my pistol rounds, probably the past 3 weeks, have just gone downhill. I'm lucky to get a kill on pistol round. With that's why I took the suppressor off the USP just to try something new. Maybe that kind of does it for me. I don't know. I'm at a loss of words. I'm trying to. I think it's a movement thing because I'm just getting insta headshot even by Glocks, just insta headshot, and then I'm one shot, and then all it is one bullet, and then I'm dead. But it's been really annoying because pistol rounds are important, and I'm finding zero impact other than utility if I'm throwing it.
Right. Let's see from the guys that killed you. I do think like in that round specifically, it definitely is a movement thing too, because like when we start to crouch on pistol round with, especially, I mean, USP or Glock, like we're putting ourselves at such a disadvantage. And again, like strategically, I just really don't like the strat, I guess, like guy up here, and I mean, it's whatever, but there's a lot of things we can improve that honestly would help you on pistol round, but obviously we're just looking at you as an individual mostly. Whose kills you here? Is it this guy, or it might be this guy? Yeah, so you're one, you're in the open, giving yourself disadvantage. Two, watch. Look, when you start to crouch, he was whiffing on you. Like he was barely hitting you, and if he was, it was because of the lucky spread, like the bullet spread. The second you crouch though, even though it was chaotic for him, he was like, oh, okay, focus my aim in on that. When you're moving around, yes, you are gonna hit, I guess, less shots because you're also moving as well. But that's the thing about pistol round. People are so obsessed with like how many kills we're getting in the game and how many like especially on pistol round. Did I get mine? Did I get my kills? But they forget that like if they can also be hard to kill, maybe you staying alive there would have got your teammate a kill, or maybe you bouncing around like that gets you flowing, gets you confident, right? So you got to keep practicing that, and yeah, like the tips I talked about before, like you utilize that space where we're next to an angle instead of being in the open. USP, man, don't be afraid to just be up in heaven and pick them off and help A site like that and stuff. Like use your range, obviously, that.
I'd say more of like I don't know what the right word for it would be in CS, but I kind of play where I'm needed. I was going to play ramp and double up on ramp because if they rush ramp one person, then the odds are just horrible. And so I was going to play double up on ramp, and then I got the call that there was a lot outside, and so I went to go rotate as fast as I could, and that's how I ended up out in the open. And again, my fault for being out in the open.
But... Yeah. Just rotate in and get yourself in a power position. I always say power position. So out here, and again, we got to play at the radar because if you are looking at the radar and like they're all the way back here, hell yeah, bro, you have so much time. You could swing out here if you wanted, right? This is the intuition off of audio, radar, and just comms that we have to do to get caught out less and less and less. And sometimes it's just bad comms, right? Like it's like nothing we can do. But yeah, 100%. Also with the smoke, you got to aim lower. Make sure it bounces on the ground first and then hits the box so that lands up here.
Okay. Yeah, that's a new one. I just, again, I seen it in a video, and so I was like, oh, well, that might help me out.
Yeah, it can be good, especially when you have pistols, and like it can be good to use to cause some chaos. Don't throw that smoke when they're on eco though. That's my advice to you. So if they're ever on eco, don't throw it. Yeah, and again, like I don't blame you for taking the fight and getting out in the open here, but again, it's just like leading us to not taking the best fights. We're lucky that nobody was peeking us out here, or nobody was silo, shooting our feet, or dropping down here shooting our feet. I guess you would have been fine to silo, but top mini you might have. Or I guess you had the smoke here, so this is fine. But
the smoke didn't land perfect, so they could peek to the left side of red and still seen me.
We gotta so like this is something I talk about too. When you are on low buy, when you are on eco especially, you have to get creative in some way. If you just swing garage and like swing angles, maybe it's a different map, you just swing mid on mirage or something, sure, like you might hit that one dude, you might do that, but like whenever we're in that disadvantage, creativity is everything. So what do we do on Nuke? Like a huge thing is like if we have MP9s or pistols, we're boosting up here on ramp. What do we do outside? Maybe we boost a guy to sit up here, or we throw that smoke and get in here and a teammate has a flash. We have to do something to cause some sort of chaos. And when we just play standard, we are inherently going to put ourselves at even more of a disadvantage. We already have the disadvantage, but we're giving them the exact fights that they want.
Yeah, on Nuke, I like to do. I didn't do it this game, I don't think. But going through hut, flash out hut, and then going up the ladder.
Yep.
And I do that with a 5.7, and
So
either
good.
5.7 or MP9, and it works pretty well. My MP9 as well has just not been good
Yeah.
for me recently. I'm just struggling to find kills, and I know it's a good gun. I just not
Mhm.
working for me.
Yeah, and here you're just doing too much. Like you're
Mhm.
just doing too much, honestly. Like
Okay.
it's fine that you're getting active and doing things, but yeah, this again too is like, remember, we killed one guy. It is weird
Mhm.
that this guy's here and our teammate. Maybe we're like, oh, our teammate would have seen it or calmed it, but like, you know, this is just the self sufficiency. We're coming here and we're just swinging hard aggressively. But like I said, I don't even think you should be doing this. I think you should be like going up on
Already 2
top
picks
hut
up.
or yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like and I don't blame you because it's 410. We're kind of like losing grip on the game, but that's the type of stuff where it's like we're just doing too much and we're making it really random what's going on for ourselves. And not in a good way. It's not like the good chaos. It's like we're kind of just like floating around. Like even here, like there might be comms or like people saying stuff and we're just like back and forth, back and forth.
Mhm. I guess I wasn't really sure what I wanted to play. I don't know what like a default is for almost any map. So
Oh
I don't
yeah, I
know
can
if like
help with that.
default is one mini, one heaven, one ramp, one outside. I
Yeah.
don't know what that looks like.
So on Nuke CT side, your opper one. Okay, here is like high level. Your opper play anywhere. He wants to play outside, he play outside. He wants to play ramp outside or ramp wherever lower. And then so rifling, you should have one rifler that's kind of responsible for mini / outside. Depending on where the opper's playing, he's gonna lock down either one. He might start secret as well to be here and do a play. And then you're going to generally have 2 inside players, 2 players that are responsible for hut and door. And also one of them is going to be the guy that rotates down, and one of them is going to be more the anchor that sits here. And then that leaves you with your ramp player who is solely responsible for ramp, but he's not trying to fight and die here every time. He's also trying to just survive and play for B site then. Or he can also be the guy that helps outside and flashes and does stuff, right?
Okay.
That's what it's going to look like every round, essentially, or what it should look like. You can throw in like a different look here and there, of course, like you should on any map, but generally that's like in quotes your defaulty kind of positions.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we actually were putting
We
in
were
some
just
work here.
unaware of that. My buddy died on ramp, and
Right.
then, I think he died ramp. No, he rotated.
Yeah, and then which leaves a huge gap. And I guarantee you, I'm not gonna go back and play it, but I guarantee you, when he rotated out of ramp, he just sprinted out. Which this guy was like, oh wait, this guy's sprinting away. I don't know, but yeah, like that's not really on you, to be honest. Yeah, it's not on you. But just like we gotta have it's easier said than done. I completely understand that, but we gotta have a plan going in the round. What are we doing, right? Like, what is my purpose this round?
Yeah, again, it's kind of on CT. It's a little harder to make kind of plans with my buddies because they kind of just go wherever they want. Like on I don't know if Dust is the most common one, but like playing spawns, I'm pretty new to that, and most of my buddies just kind of go wherever. Oh, I'm gonna go B this round. I'm gonna go A this round. And so like if I've been playing long on Dust, and then like 2 people stack up long, and then I'm gonna go B, and so I'm kind of trying to find the gaps in there.
Yeah. Because like honestly, what this is turning into now too is just deathmatch. Like maybe we'll throw one smoke, but it's just deathmatch at this point. Yeah, like it just comes down to like whatever map you're playing, whatever position, you need to have like a few like plays that you can cycle through, right? So that you're not just like drifting around. And yes, like 1 round a game or 2 rounds, maybe you do just swing out here because you're better. Like maybe you're like, I'm better than these guys, right? But it's like, okay, I'm playing in positions where this is my job. Maybe it's like I'm gonna swing credit early, take some fights, boom. I lost 50 health, but I got a kill. Now I can go back into my next position. Maybe I want to go help A, drop down here, and now I'm pushing through hut with my teammates if I want it, right? It's not always needed, but like just an example.
Gotcha.
Or hey, like now I'm gonna hold outside from like back here. Maybe I'm just holding wrap, like you were saying. Players don't do this. Maybe you're playing a team that is doing it. I'm holding wrap now. So we have this plan where it's not just like I'm swinging and fighting to die, or I'm just gonna see what happens. Like you're scripting kind of some of these things out in your head before they even happen, right? Another
thing, I don't really. Oh, what's that?
No, go ahead.
Oh, another thing on Nuke specifically, I don't know kind of what I should be doing with my CT smokes, because I don't want to smoke outside if I'm playing out there. At least in my mind, I don't want to smoke outside because it gives them more space. Then they don't have to they don't have to refresh one of the smokes if I smoked it for them.
Yeah, for
ramp,
you shouldn't.
I'll smoke it, and then maybe I'll smoke Squeaky. But